Hey folks, I'm back. It's been a while. Jake is around here, running around here somewhere. Um, we both, I guess, have been stressed and wore out dealing with the new kitten in the back. Kind of figured out that the big problem with her is that she's in heat. That's why she won't leave Jake alone, and he's been fixed, so he's not interested. It's kind of like Big Ethel chasing Jughead around here. Yeah, she's after him, and all he wants to do is get something to eat. So, anyway, there's more to talk about as far as the cats are concerned, but I've been kind of venting my feelings about some of the agencies I've been dealing with in regards to trying to get something done with the kitten on Facebook. We do have a spaying scheduled for next Wednesday. Hopefully that will calm her down and she and Jake become friends, and you might even start seeing her pop up in videos. Who knows? Right now it's just me and Jake. So okay, so let's get into some records. I'm having some trouble with my camera, so if this ends abruptly, I will just pick it up in a part two. And but yeah, if you hear some crying in the background, that's what it sounds like when a cat's in heat. So, all right, let's get into these records. And first, I actually have to show you a movie. A couple weeks ago, I was in a pawn shop that I like to go to. They've got DVDs for 50 cents. And I found this movie, Man of La Mancha, starring a very young Sophia Loren. Don't know much about this movie except it's supposed to be about Don Quixote. But I was very pleased to pick it up. I've been wanting to see some of the films that Sophia Loren has done. I love music. I also love movies. So I was very pleased to find this. On Blu-ray it cost about $20, and believe it or not, on DVD it cost a couple bucks more. And I found this. It is still sealed, and it cost me 50 cents. You can't go wrong with that. And why am I showing you that when I'm getting ready to show you records? It's because I went to the Great Escape for their Sidewalk sale. Vinyl was 50 cents, and CDs were 50 cents. I'm looking over there because that's where my stack of CDs are, and I'll do a video for them. But I picked up the soundtrack to The Man of La Mancha. There's the back. I guess that's Don Quixote with the sword. See Sophia. So I don't know if this is serious or a comedy or what, but I am interested in giving both of these a spin. The soundtrack is on United Artists. I have no idea what the music's like, but for 50 cents, I decided to go ahead and grab it. Next, History of the Righteous Brothers. Very pleased to pick this up. It kicks off with You've Lost That Loving Feeling. It is on MGM. I picked up several Righteous Brothers albums in one of the Great Escape's previous sales. I think that one was 25-cent vinyl. I picked up about 3 of them. So I picked up a fourth at 50 and was very pleased because it has You've Lost That Loving Feeling on it. Let's see here. Next, Nancy Wilson. Alright, let me say this about the Sidewalk sale. It was held under a tent. Unfortunately, the lighting was not good. It made it kind of difficult for me to see the vinyl. I don't know if it was difficult for everybody. I have some vision issues. My left eye is pretty much useless. So I don't know if it was just me or if everybody was having trouble, but I was having to take some chances with some of the vinyl because I really couldn't see it very well. I had picked up a Nancy Wilson album that had her and George Shearing, and when I got it home, it just was too scuffed up. So I'm hoping this one plays. On Capitol Records. Next up, Al Jarreau. Passed just a couple of years ago, I believe. Not sure when, but Al Jarreau, a jazz singer. Kind of a jazz soul singer. This album came out on Warner Brothers. A man with a very unique voice. Yeah, I'm having some trouble with that. We'll do that in a minute. Alright, so next up, this album, I'm very interested in. Pat Metheny and Lyle Mays. As Falls Wichita, So Falls Wichita Falls. That's an interesting title. Of course, Pat Metheny being a great jazz guitarist. Jazz fusion usually. Let's try not to knock over the drink Jakers. So this particular album I've not heard. It is out on MCM, kind of a green label. But always up for some Pat Metheny, especially at 50 cents. Next up, I don't know anything about this artist, but it's David Becker Tribune, Siberian Express. I believe this is jazz. I'm not sure, though the picture kind of looks like 80s guitar. But the first composition, one of the compositions, alright, it's the last song on the first side, is Central Park West, which was written by John Coltrane, which is why it made me wonder if it was jazz. Though that really does look like an 80s metal, hair metal guitarist, I guess. I don't know. So, looking at the other musicians, I really don't know what to think. So, I have to give that a spin. Next, we're going to kind of go country. Found this old Kitty Wells album, Cream of Country Hits. Love finding these old kind of records. And this one is on Decca, and let me tell you, that vinyl, man, that feels like that's a record. That's good thick vinyl on that. It cleaned up, should clean up nicely. Next, Emmylou Harris, Light of the Stable. This is a Christmas album. Love Emmylou. On Warner Brothers. Found the Best of Roy Clark. This is one of those older thick records on Dot Records. Not the original inner sleeve. I thought I had another Roy Clark album in this box. I know I did. Well, where did that Roy Clark album go to, Jake? Let's keep going. I may have to break this up into 2 videos anyway. So I also found 3 Tennessee Ernie Ford albums. First one's Gather Round. Music arranged and conducted by Jack Fascinato. It mentions humorous songs on the back, so I don't know exactly what type of album this is, but again, it's one of those older records that's just built like a tank on Capitol. I have checked most of these, and once I got them home, and most of them look really good. So I don't think there'll be too many. I don't think there'll be any more like the one that I mentioned earlier that was just too beat up. All right, did I even show the front of this? I tell you what, I'm just out of sorts today. The Lusty Land, Tennessee Ernie Ford. Looks like he stepped out of a Brawny commercial. This is also on Capitol, and one of those albums again, built like a tank. I guess if you're gonna make your cover look like a Brawny commercial, then you gotta have a big manly record in the cover. Then I found Tennessee Ernie Ford, the folk album. And it's on Capitol. And this was really kind of an interesting find, these 3 Tennessee Ernie Ford albums, because I had just been talking to my buddy Josh, and he was telling me that he said that his aunt wrote a book on Tennessee Ernie Ford, and it's been published, and so we were talking about that the night before. And then so I find 3 Tennessee Ernie Ford albums, and then I find this album, Don Harrison Band, and it's more rock, hard rock, I guess. There's the band on the back. Why am I showing this connection with Tennessee Ernie Ford? Because they kind of do a rock version of 16 Tons, which was Ford's biggest hit. And that, matter of fact, that kicks this album off. So that's kind of unusual. I said I had another Roy Clark album. Well, I just found it. I just put it in the wrong spot. Roy Clark, Turn Loose. This is on a different kind of label. It's on Churchill. It's pretty thick album too, but I'd never heard of the Churchill label. The little dog. I don't know how well you can see that. It's got a little dog on the label. Looks like Winston Churchill. And we're going to wrap up this video. We'll have to do a part 2 so I can get through the rest of it. We'll start with folk next time, but while we're in the country, I guess, I don't know if this guy would be considered country comedy or not, but it's Ray Stevens, Boogity Boogity, and this album kicks off with a street. So, I was shocked to find this. Great 50 cent pickup. This is on, what is that label called? Barnaby? I think I'm showing it upside down or something. Anyway, you get the idea. So, that's going to be the end of this video. I'll come back with the second half of this vinyl haul, and part 3 will be the CDs. So for me, for Goofy running around here, maybe he'll come up for his co-hosting duties next time. Hope you're having a great day. We're going to see you real soon.